Hello, this is Keith Seymour. Sorry for the appearance. I know I need a haircut. But this is Keith Seymour of Real Talk. I have decided to do more of these videos. These videos are going to be on current events, various things discussed on social media, and things that are happening. I have decided to do more of these videos on a regular basis, hopefully weekly. Because I feel the mainstream media has not done its job sufficiently. And they need us less known members of the media. I am a local freelance journalist in Columbia, South Carolina, to call them out. It is not only our job, but our obligation as journalists and people within society, whether we have a journalism degree or not, to hold people accountable. Not only those in power, but people close to us, people we admire, and yes, even people in the mainstream media. People, including those people I admire, such as Oprah Winfrey, who did the recent interview with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Overall, I felt the interview was done pretty well. However, I feel that Oprah Winfrey could have done a better job. She broke, in my opinion, her word to her viewers when she told her audience, and Prince Harry and Meghan Markle had agreed to this on camera, that no topic is off the table. It is very rare that any journalist, even a well-known journalist, gets to set these standards. It is my understanding that Oprah did not go to the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. They came to her. This gives us, as journalists, the power to set down the rules. This is not about journalists having power, but having control. And I felt that she gave that control up when she did not push forward on certain questions. So, my first video that will be on the air within the next 48 hours will be one titled No Topic is Off the Table, means just that. I don't want to give out any spoilers, but to give you an idea of what this is, and yes, as journalists, we need to be sensitive to our subjects. When Prince Harry said that he would not reveal who that person was, he should have been pressed. First of all, as Piers Morgan of Good Morning Britain pointed out, and again, he is not one of my favorite broadcasters. As far as how he presents himself, even when I do agree with him. But as Mr. Morgan did point out, Harry put that on the table. He brought up the topic. And for him to mention this and not follow through was just wrong. But worse than that, Oprah Winfrey had the right and the ability to ask at least once or twice more for him to give some sort of detail, at least the context. In which that occurred. She didn't. I don't know if it's because they were neighbors of hers, but she had that ability. Oprah Winfrey paying the reported $7 million and maybe even a penalty of double that amount back to the network is a drop in the bucket for this woman. People in the UK may not be familiar with Miss Winfrey. People in the United States are. This is one of the few, if not the only, talk show host from the 80s and 90s who no longer has to work and doesn't. She has studios in LA, Atlanta, Georgia, and this is a woman who is known during the time that her show was on the air to purchase current brand new automobiles for every member of the audience simply because she could. Now, if we talk about an average or small studio audience, we're talking about 300 people. So if you're talking about a brand new car that is 20 to 25,000 American dollars, and you multiply that by 300, and that's not even including the taxes that she agreed to pay when she did her final show, she had nothing to lose. And it would have hurt Harry and Meghan more simply not to answer that question. So I'm going to address that. The second video that will go up within the next 24 to 48 hours, hopefully. I will make it right after the first, is one which I have named, "It's Not Easy to Be Biracial." This is not going to be something in which you should feel sorry for those of us who are biracial. It is simply going to be an informative video discussing various issues that we as biracial people have got to deal with. In my opinion, one of the most, inaccurate comments made is that biracial children growing up have it the hardest. There is some truth to this. As a child and as a teenager, I was called a Oreo, Palomino horse, a penguin once or twice, the missing 102nd Dalmatian. I've been called Oreo, a half-breed. And quite a few other names, which I'm not going to even get into. I've spent almost a week about thinking whether I should do this or not. And actually, I was originally going to do this as an article, but I figured I needed a wider audience to understand, and to understand more immediately, which is why I'm using this platform. And it's taken me so long to come to the conclusion that this particular video on being biracial adults is so important, because I am of the opinion that as journalists, whether prominent, local, freelance, we need to be impartial, and we need to keep as much personal stuff out of the things that we address. Unless, of course, an editorial, and even then, there are very strict rules. I finally concluded that this needed to be done because I feel, whether it was done purposely or simply because it didn't occur, that the British media, the American media, and the social networking sites of Facebook and Twitter, which I participate in, have not addressed this racial issue from the standpoint that I feel it needs to be addressed. Was it a racist remark? It was at the very least racially insensitive. It was out of line, whether it was meant as an intentional, a bigoted remark, or just, have you considered how your child will look? Passing comment, which is still racially insensitive. But last night I was on Twitter, and someone stated that all white British people are racist. I don't know if the person was from the UK or if they were from the United States. But I did point out that if Meghan Markle had married into a black family, and again I speak from experience, a similar comment would have been made. Except rather than the concern of whether the baby was going to be too light, too dark. The concern would be whether, in the case of a black family, is the baby going to be too dark? Not dark enough. I myself, having watched after watching the royal wedding, discussed it with several friends and colleagues. And everybody was so happy for Meghan Markle that she had found happiness. However, I did hear from a couple of African American people, and these are well-educated people, some who work within the media, others within the school system. It's great Meghan found a man who can accept her the way she is. But it's just so sad that a fine-looking sister like that, who is talented, smart, and intelligent, and who can have her choice of any man, any black man in the world, would turn her back on her own race and marry a white man. This is an issue that I'm going to discuss in further detail, and I'm encouraging you to look at my videos. I also welcome hearing from you, so you may reach me or message me on Twitter at WriteStuffSeymour at twitter.com. That is WRITECMOUR at twitter.com. Please tell your friends about my videos, and I look forward to seeing you and hearing your comments as well as interacting with you at some point. This is Keith H. Seymour at Real Talk, and signing off now. Look forward to seeing you guys. Take care.